Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been trying to get filming done as best as possible. I've just been really busy with work, so if I have not posted a video probably in months now since starting back at work. I apologize for that. I know I said I was going to be more consistent and I'm sucking at it. Just because I'm busy. I work a full-time job. I work in the makeup industry. That's just what I do. I'm a counter manager at an impulse counter in Macy's. I've been a counter manager for a year and a half now. I thoroughly enjoy my job and recommending products. So I do get a lot of insight on the products, and I've worked with these brands for I want to say about 3-ish years, 4 years or so, and I've gotten extensive training. And you know, when I was a prestige manager in Denver, we used to do a lot of training, and that was really cool because I got to learn everything about the brands. Yeah, it's a great way to kind of, and then I still continue my education on the side, and of course if I got any brands that come in and see me, they will give me a crash course on their newest products. So I really love to dive deep into what the product is about, and just doing, you know, I don't get to do makeup right now, but you know, normally we do. But current situations in the world, right? If you don't know me and my channel, I am called Fairy Vibrant. That is actually my artist name. I am a painter. I do a lot of fantasy art. I will try and incorporate some more art. I just haven't done it in a while. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am currently 36, turning 37 next month. Well, when I'm filming this is September. Hopefully I can get this up in September. But yeah. And I am a New Mexican native, and yeah, currently reside in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I kind of grew up. I lived mostly in the south in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and then moved to Denver and started my retail career path there, and just came back to New Mexico and continued my makeup industry retail job. And I do this for a living. It's a lot of fun doing my job. Of course, unfortunate events occurred, which makes my job a little bit more difficult. So I'm trying to incorporate my knowledge into videos. So if you do want more of a breakdown of brands, ask me in the comments. I can try and break down the brand for you to the best of my ability and the best of my training. So yeah, I am going to be reviewing today a palette, and you might remember my video of this palette. I will link it down below, but the handbook for the recently deceased eyeshadow palette. I did get a lot of views on this one just because a lot of people couldn't find it. And then it started popping up weirdly. But yeah, it is a Beetlejuice themed eyeshadow palette. I absolutely loved the shade Lydia, which is a red, and that's my name. So yeah, and if you don't know this already, I am a huge Beetlejuice fan. Can you see from my background? So yeah, this is the newest palette that they just came out with. This is called the Beetlejuice eyeshadow and highlighter palette. So it retails right now for $16.90, but there was online a 20% off coupon. Right now there is hot cash, so if you have accumulated hot cash, you can accumulate it on, I think it's $30 or more, and you get $15 hot cash. But definitely got this for $13.42. So yeah, and then my husband picked up a brush holder, Beetlejuice brush holder. I had to. So I will use these brushes on my face or on my eyes for the review. Alright, let's go ahead and open her up. So it opens up just like any eyeshadow palette. Looks like it has it has 12 shades of eyeshadow, and it has 2 highlighters. And the highlighters are embossed with beetles on there. And it looks like the color story is a lot more yellowy olive green, which is in turn actually in the aesthetic of Beetlejuice. So here's Beetlejuice. As you can see, he's got a lot of olive green type, you know, his makeup is that. So I actually will tell you, I'm a huge fangirl of V. Neil, who did the makeup for Michael Keaton and created Beetlejuice. So I'm a huge fangirl of V. Neil. I love the makeup she created. But yeah, this is a great palette to have if you're one of those collectors. I know that they come out with like Harley Quinn ones. If you like Harley Quinn, they come out with like different nostalgic type ones, and I've never used the other eyeshadows. I did use the Jason one, but I think I gave that away. I just didn't like it. It was very plain. My son wanted me to get the Jason one because he likes Jason. But this is something that I wanted to have because I'm a huge Beetlejuice collector. So yeah, it's got a lot of olive greens. The names are hilarious, and you will see this in the swatches. I'm probably going to laugh when I read the swatches and swatch them. They're cute. So yeah, this palette is pretty flat, but we're going to find out. So we're going to go ahead and get into some swatches, and I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. I haven't filmed in a while, so I'm a little rusty. I'm going to start off with the swatches, and then we're going to see how it performs on the eye. I am going to be using 2 different eyeshadow primers, not on one on each eye, but just kind of like testing the theory. Oh wait, not this one. Wrong one. Testing the theory of different, I just want to see, because from feeling it, I just kind of get an idea of how it's going to perform on my eye. I just know how eyeshadow is going to perform on my eye. So I might switch primers. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to keep watching and seeing how this look came about from the Beetlejuice palette, keep on watching. So here's the palette. Cute. And then here are the colors. Super cute. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the first. They're very creamy, which is not bad. So there are the first 4 shades of the palette. This one is called Beetle Breakfast. A little gasoline. So Beetle Breakfast is a shimmery gold, and a little gasoline is like an olive kind of green. And then there is, I love these names, Make My Millennium, which is a darker olive green. It looks similar to that one, but it's actually a little darker. On camera it does not pick up that it's a little darker. Let's see. And then Honey, We're Dead is a true olive green. They are a little powdery, so they do kind of kick up just a smidge. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at these names because they're so great. The next 4, oops, I'm just dropping stuff everywhere. Oh my gosh, these are hilarious. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to see Beetlejuice. There's the next 4 shades. I'm sorry, I'm going to laugh this whole time. Say It Once, which is a shimmery purple. Say It Twice, which is a cool, oh man, that's a pretty like metallic green with a gold shift. Third Time's a Charm is another like olive green. This one's more yellow though. And then Recently Deceased is the darkest kind of olivey, almost brown color. Oh man, I'm like having a blast just swatching these because the names are hilarious. All right, there are the next 4 shades in the last row. Showtime, which is a lighter shimmery purple. Paranormal, which is a kind of like a smoky gray and metallic. Routine Haunting is a matte black, and that one didn't swatch very well. And then the B Word is a matte white, which doesn't really swatch that well either. So there's the shadows in the palette. As you can see, they're very like olivey and purple, very Beetlejuice. Don't say it twice more. So yeah, let's get into the highlights of this palette. So let me just kind of clean my hands off real quick so I want you guys to see. I kind of dipped into it. I cheated a little. But I'm so excited. And like, guys, if you saw my pants, I'm wearing Beetlejuice pants, okay? I'm wearing pajamas. I'm wearing my Edgar Allan Poe shirt that my friend gave me, my best friend gave me in California, and Beetlejuice pajamas. And then my hair is definitely for the occasion. You can't really see it on camera, but it is purple. So that works. All right, so this is the highlight. The highlights are huge, like huge. There are bigger pans, so they're very smooth feeling. There's Never Trust the Living and Ghost with the Most. So Never Trust the Living is this silvery shade here, and I'm going to put it at the top of my hand. So it's basically a straight up silver, and then Ghost with the Most is a really cool like green. It's really cool. I like it. So yeah, I mean, the palette swatches fairly decent. They're very powdery, so we got to see how this performs first before we make any assumptions about this palette. This is a Hot Topic palette. Honestly, if you haven't seen my review, throwing things, of the Recently Deceased palette, I still have it. I wore it today at work, so this is my favorite palette. Oh, I just love the coffin-shaped shades. Is it the most best performing? We'll see. So we'll try this guy out, okay? So let's go ahead and zoom. Doing a talk through. So we're going to do the chocolate eyeshadow. This is the matte eyeshadow from Too Faced. This is the shade Cocoa Cream. I've been using this for my eyeshadow primer just because it actually picks up pretty well. Sorry, I'm going to use my finger. This one dries pretty fast. Out of all the shades in the matte eyeshadow collection, this one dries the fastest. So I use it because my eyes have been creasing a lot with like the air of my mask going upwards into my eyes. So it's kind of been a little bit tricky. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and dive into this guy. So I'm not quite sure what kind of look I want to do, but definitely want to play with the olives. So we're going to start off simple. We're going to start off with this bright green. And it picks up pretty well on the brush. And we're going to put that into the crease. And I'm using a detail brush. I don't know, I might do a halo eye because I always do a halo eye, but I don't know yet. Picks up pretty well. Alright, we'll go into the darker Make My Millennium shade. This is hilarious. I absolutely love this palette already. Ahead and go into Recently Deceased, which is this kind of like dark browny olive. And we're going to place this on the outer corner. Let's see how this one works. Ooh. Do you see the separation there? This might not be the best shade to build with. I feel like this is going to belong in the crease, but look at how patchy that is. It's a little rough. I'm going to go ahead and go into Routine Haunting, which is the black, and go on top. Maybe I just need a better brush. I don't know, I always like the fluffy brush. So I'm going to use my Tarte brush here, and I'm going to pick that up and pack on the black a little more. Oh my lord, look at that patchiness. Look at this space. So I'm going to try something different, because this, if palettes are going to give me this powderiness, I know for a fact that they're going to be just too soft to put straight, like put a crease shade, and then I have to put this with a stickier, more hydrating base. That's what I feel like it's going to come down to. So I'm just wiping off the excess. Oh, I don't want to be rough on my eye. Alright, kind of let that dry a little bit. And we're going to switch gears. We're going to get a much more hydrating one. Now, I really don't like hydrating primers because I'm oily, but this one will do. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer, and this will do just fine because it's got that kind of, not tackiness, but more or less like a wet, creamy effect, where it can grip the shadow a little bit better, especially if they're very dry and powdery. So this is probably what I'll recommend if you want to get this palette, is you need a very moisturizing primer. So we're going to go ahead and go back into Routine Haunting, which was the black, and we're going to go straight on and just stamp it. You notice the difference, that starting with a darker color makes a difference. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it where I want it. I'm literally just stamping it there. I don't care that if it's like all over the place. So we're going to go back into Recently Deceased, which is that darker color, and we're going to blend out the black. See, this is coming out way better. And I'm such a weirdo. I totally forgot to use my Beetlejuice brushes that my husband got me. So we're actually going to play with these a little more, and I'm going to use this brush here. This is like a fluffier brush. This is the really cute. So we're going to go into Make My Millennium, which is that olive color, and we're going to buff it out some more. That's actually working pretty well. Alright, so I already blended it out a little bit more, and then we're going to take a little gasoline. And we're just going to bring it in just a little more. And really buff out those edges. Like, honestly, don't worry about it being kind of messy on the outer corner, because you could always crisp it up. Now this is looking more Beetlejuice. Just like that. There's really no, oh no, there is a brow bone shade in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this brush from the Beetlejuice brush kit and use the B word and put that in my brow bone. Now I can tell you what scene these were set in, if you were curious, if you've never seen Beetlejuice. If you've never seen Beetlejuice, you need to see Beetlejuice. How in the world are you living your life? Because it came out in 1987, I want to say. Yeah, 1987, I think I was 5, 4 or 5. I can't remember. I was little. But it is an awesome movie. I'm going to take Say It Twice. And a flat brush here from the brush holder. So what you, okay, so Beetle breakfast is what Lydia Dietz says when she's guessing his name. He can't say his name. So, because you actually summon him by saying his name, but he can't say his name. So, he's trying to play charades with her, and he says, he like does this orange juice little trick where it's pouring into a glass, and then she's like, Beetle breakfast, Beetle orange. Like she's trying to guess what it is, so he doesn't say the name. It's so funny. I love it. He's played by Michael Keaton. If you don't know who Michael Keaton is, you're living under a rock. He was the Batman, the first Batman of the Tim Burton franchise. So if you don't know that, now you know. But it's so funny because, and I'm just taking Make My Millennium and just kind of blending the two together. You know my tricks. And then, of course, Make My Millennium is because he, like, says, go ahead, make my millennium, because he's dead. And then the Matefields say, honey, we're dead. Well, Adam says that. Say it once is what he says. Say it twice. Third time's a charm. But I like a little gasoline because he's, like, trying to figure, oh my gosh, it's so funny. He's just like, a little gasoline and everything will be fine or something like that. You know, like he's trying to help the Matefields. They're recently dead, and their house is bought by this family, which Lydia Dietz is the daughter. So, and I'm just crisping up the edge here with just a makeup wipe. So they're not happy because they're stuck in the house, and these people are changing their house that they worked very hard for. So you get the lash line. I'm going to use this brush from the kit, and we're going to dip into the purples because I want some purple. So we're going to go with Say It Once, and we're going to just kind of smudge that. Oh, I really like it. That's a nice purple. Alright, so the key for this palette, honestly, my opinion is going to be a more moisturizing or stickier base. No matte bases, because then the matte base is not going to work. I feel like it's going to just do what it did before and patch up. Alright, so we're going to do with Showtime. It's the lighter purple, and I just want to use this to kind of buff it out a little more. Perfect. I like these brushes. They're actually really nice to get in there. Alright, so there is a tiny little brush here, and I'm going to use Beetle Breakfast, because I haven't dipped into that one. And we're putting this on the inner corner. It's a nice little gold, so it kind of marries a little bit with the colors. I do wish there was a red in here, but I know this color story for this palette is very Beetlejuice because it's got the olive greens, it's got purples, blacks, you know, colors like that. It's actually pretty nice. I'm going to use my finger a little more though. And then I'm actually going to use a little bit of the highlight, which goes with the most, to kind of turn the gold just a little bit more green. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to do, because I did the rest of my face, we're going to do the highlight, and it comes with an angled brush, which I could have used for this, but, you know. We're going to put Never Trust the Living. So we're going to just take that on the angled brush, and we're going, it's not depositing. Oh, there it is. That is intensely silver. Then I'm going to put Ghost with the Most a little bit on top. It's pretty though. When you look straight on, you could see that it's a little bit gray, so it's not the easiest color to have. I'm taking Ghost with the Most and just putting it on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my forehead, just to kind of create a little bit of a creepy glow there. I'm going to do Never Trust the Living a little bit more. I'm just going to take it a little bit down the brow bone. It's interesting that Never Trust the Living shade works really nice in the light, but I feel like straight on it's kind of muddy and dirty. So I'm going to finish the rest of my face, and then I'm going to let you know my overall thoughts about the palette and the brushes. Alright, so, ooh, a little bit of makeup on me. I'm actually impressed with the palette. It's very okay. So I had to put on a Beetlejuice lip, so this is the NYX Glitter Goals. This is actually a discontinued shade, I believe. It's called Amethyst Vibes. So that's it. It's a little sheer, but you know, whatever. I haven't worn lips in a long time, so bear with me if it's a little uneven. Alright, so as for the palette goes, I'm actually impressed. Of course, at first it's going to be a little bit tricky because it is very powdery. Like, they do a lot of kick up. They feel soft to the touch, but they're very like buttery, where it can be misconstrued as creamy and smooth and will apply good, but actually it doesn't apply the best with a matte primer. So if you don't have a matte primer, or if you do have a matte primer, use a more moisturizing, like the Shadow Insurance from Too Faced will work. The anti-aging one from Urban Decay will work. Even the regular original one will work, but I only use the matte eyeshadow from Too Faced in Cocoa Cream for work, because that's preventing my eyeshadow from creasing because of the air of the mask, you know, putting my mask on all day for 8 hours a day, and just kind of my breath going up into my eyes. I know that sounds horrible, but like that's what happens, and then it started creasing, but this one locks it down. So if you do wear a mask all day and have eyeshadow on all day, I do recommend this as a primer. But for this palette, I did have to use something more moisturizing. So the color range is, to me, first glance, I was kind of underwhelmed. But then as I put it on, I actually really like the olive greens and the purples. Like, the purple came out really, really good. And then the only thing I didn't like was the Beetle Breakfast. That wasn't my favorite. I wish it was more of like a green, like a light green instead of a yellow gold. So that's the only drawback. I really loved, I think my favorite shade had to have been Say It Twice, which is a beautiful like metallic green. Now these are very, very powdery, so you have to be careful. But yeah, I love the yellow shift that it gives. All the shades are very powdery in that aspect, so they're very, very difficult to blend. I felt like the B word, the white, did a really good job at highlighting my brow bone. So how I recommend putting on this palette is probably more or less just being careful with the shades. Use a moisturizing or sticky base to start off, but start off with the darker shades instead of going straight on into the crease, because then you're going to create that you're going to dry out that area that you want to apply a darker color on, and I feel like it'll get muddy. So I do recommend putting on the dark colors first and then blending out the crease shades and the light shades. So if you want a more in-depth way of how I do my eyeshadow, let me know in the comments, but honestly, I really did enjoy this palette. I really like this eyeshadow look. It came out really, really, really good. As for the highlights, Never Trust the Living is a little bit too gray. I feel like it kind of made my face a little dirty because it is a gray tone silver highlight. I would have probably just put Ghost with the Most on instead. So that one is really, really pretty because that one is a nice green. It reminds me of, what was it, a Makeup Revolution shade that I had come across. But that really nice green highlighter, and it looks like my Alchemist palette. It looks like the emerald color. So yeah, I really did enjoy this palette. Now for the brushes. The brushes are really cool. My husband actually went to go spend our hot cash, of course, mostly like on my kids, of course, because they have a lot of loves there. My daughter is into My Chemical Romance, which I don't listen to. I have no idea. I never listened to that music back then, so I don't know anything about them. So I'm kind of learning from her on them, and she's obsessed. So there's a lot of stuff like that, and we had a lot of hot cash, so we decided to do that. And my husband found some cute things. So he found this. It was the brush holder, so it is the sandworm from Beetlejuice, and then the brushes, and I think the brushes actually performed fairly well. They weren't too bad. I do like the fact that they have like detailed brushes. They blend out pretty well. I mean, they're pretty good for like, I feel like they're comparable to like the Sephora collection brushes. So this is really cute. Yeah, and then, so I do have, these are going to be some things that I'm going to show you. I might do a Beetlejuice collection video. I don't know because I have a lot of stuff that's Beetlejuice. But I do have a face mask for Beetlejuice. Got it, Hot Topic. The makeup bag of the recently deceased. Oh my gosh. And then of course my recently deceased eyeshadow palette. I will link that video down below. And my husband bought me a small purse of Beetlejuice with Lydia Dietz on it, and then there's Beetlejuice and there's Lydia as a button, and of course, that is so true. My whole life is a dark room. And then, of course, my wallet, Beetlejuice. Recently deceased. I also have another purse that's the recently deceased book purse. This one's just a little bit harder to carry because it doesn't zip, so that kind of opens. But those are all from Hot Topic. And of course, can you see my Beetlejuice collection back here? I have Adam, I have Barbara, Beetlejuice, and Dante's Inferno. I have Mini Lydia. I even have the Sandworm pen. I have my box of Lydia cereal. It's empty. I didn't really like the cereal though. My wedding Lydia and my photographer one, or not photographer, she's reading the book. She's got the hat on. And then of course the part where Adam drops him and spikes come out, or spikes come out and Adam drops him, and then Dante's Inferno appears, so he has spikes coming out of him. I do have a Beetlejuice poster that I haven't put up that will be in my background shortly. And of course my Beetlejuice pajamas. I have Beetlejuice pajamas, I have Beetlejuice shirts, I have Beetlejuice decor for Halloween. I love Beetlejuice. Why? Because I just love the character Lydia. When I was a kid, it really resonated with me because I always thought my name was different from, but like, no one's named Lydia. It's not a common name. I've never knew a Lydia growing up, so I kind of attached myself to the character of Lydia, Winona Ryder's character. I just thought it was really cool, and she was very goth and dark, and I'm like, that's kind of how I felt as a kid, and I feel now, of course, always. But I just love her character. She's so unique. And then every Halloween I dress up as Lydia Dietz because it's kind of like a little joke I have with everybody. They're like, well, what are you going to be for Halloween? Or who are you for Halloween? I'm like, I'm Lydia. Well, we know you're Lydia. That's your name. And I'm like, no, I'm Lydia Dietz. And then, of course, my last name, Duran, and Dietz are pretty close. So, I mean, I think it worked out in the end. I really just love the character, and it's a funny film. It's amazing. If you love Tim Burton, this is definitely a classic of Tim Burton. If you've never seen Beetlejuice, seriously, I don't know where you've been. It was huge growing up for me, so I really love it. I love anything Tim Burton, so that's just how I am. But yeah, that's why I like the movie, and that's why I'm obsessed. I have a very large obsession with Beetlejuice. But among other obsessions, I do love this palette. This is a great palette. It is retailed for $16.90, so do pick it up. And if you have hot cash, pick up some other things and this. Okay, so I really do recommend this palette. So okay, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my video of another Beetlejuice palette that I got to review. So if you have any other Hot Topic palettes that you would like me to kind of take a look at. I know I missed the mark on the Milan one. I wanted to get the Milan one because I just wanted it for the shade Dishonor on Your Cow. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Mushu? But yeah, let me know if you want me to review any specific palettes from Hot Topic, because that is my favorite store, and I don't mind using that. And ooh, I will tell you that if you want me to review the nail polishes, I will definitely do that, because I do own the nail polishes. So that's the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.